Well, this is the old parking lot. It used to be cinders as well as I remember. This is the old parking lot here for Rock Lake Pool. Let's go see if the entrance is still under the railroad track. Well, here's the old tunnel that went underneath the railroad track. Don't have the wooden walkway or the stairs here that it used to have. It doesn't provide an easy access like it once did. That old tree has been here as long as I can remember. Everybody walked by it as they went into the pool. I'm standing out here in what was the main parking lot. I don't remember if this was ever paved or not. I don't believe it was. This was the main parking lot to the pool. You generally couldn't find a place to park here. That's why we parked on the other side. They did have a little go-kart track here at one time, and that's what the shelter over here was for. Was all the go-kart people and fans waiting to take their turn for a spin around the course. I never saw it. Never saw the track. Never came by when it was in operation, which was for a very short period of time. But then again, over here, this is the church. This is the Rock Lake Presbyterian Church that now owns this property and is donating it for a community center. I think it's a great idea. And there is what it used to be. Putt Putt golf and games, bumper boats, raceway. Many a foot, small and large, to traverse this little path. This would be the entrance that we came into Rock Lake Pool. You would walk right down through here. But today, we have a garden growing in Rock Lake Pool, or what was the pool. If we pan on around here, you will notice the pool is filled in completely with dirt. But there's a story behind all of this. The property is owned by the Presbyterian Church across the street. What you're looking at is a Rock Lake Community Garden. And that's exactly what it means. This area has been turned over by the church to be used for public community garden. And they have a lot of other plans here to use all this area. Rock Lake is being resurrected in its third life. This is the existing building that was for the Putt Putt course. It'll now be used as a community building. There are volunteers who are currently renovating the inside of it for just that purpose. But as I pan right, of course that was where the old bathhouse used to be. As I pan here, you can see that all of the old lake, pond, pool, whatever it was, has been filled in with dirt. This dirt actually came from new construction over at Thomas Memorial Hospital. They were looking for somewhere to dump the dirt. The church wanted to fill this in, so this is where it ended up. This is the area along the walls where the slide and the trapeze were mounted. There's a remnant there. That is a vertical pipe back when in the 90s, when it was still a kind of a putt-putt place and they still had water in here. They had a waterfall coming down there. There's some old brackets still mounted into the wall here. I'm standing in the area of about where the old raft would have been, as we called it. Now turning, looking back towards the bathhouse, or what was the bathhouse, this is about where the raft would have been. I'll do a slow pan here to the right, over where the shallower end of the pool was for the kiddies and what have you. And we had the picnic area over here. All filled in now. Now the lighthouse here was an addition, I believe, when they had the bumper boats operating in this half of the pool. It was filled in originally about halfway, when they had the bumper boats that would have been in this area here. There also is another remnant of the old pool. I'm not exactly sure what that is. Judging from some of the bolt holes here and what have you, this may have been part of the support for maybe the raft, maybe the trapeze, I'm not sure. There's a couple of ladders lying down here also that have been unceremoniously cut loose and piled up here. There's more than a few of these remnants around here. Again, I'll pan left here from where the old bathhouse was, the entrance right there. The rock walls, of course, are the same as they've been for hundreds of years. Well, maybe not quite hundreds, but whenever they were first uncovered, as this was an operating rock quarry. I'm standing right now in what was the main picnic area. Again, we'll do a little pan here. There's some piles of dirt here because the people who brought the dirt in, they didn't necessarily level it out like they should have, so there's some odd piles still here. But the lady I talked to assures me that will all be taken care of. We go back over in this area here. There used to be rocks over here that had the signs that said poison ivy, and it meant what it said. The poison ivy is still around here. These are old batting cages left over again from the arcade Putt Putt deal that was here. That was the second iteration of Rock Lake. Now, these shelters you see back over here in the picnic area, these were actually the waiting areas for when it was bumper boats. And this area in between them and this area right in here was still actually had water in it. As I said, looking around over here, you find some remnants from the old pool. This would have been one of the turnstiles, possibly the one where you had to pass through the showers. There were several of those around, though. Now, this would be a neat thing to put in your yard. They're going to try to use some of this in its resurrection here. As one can see here, the foliage up on top of the rocks is beginning to take over, as Mother Nature usually does. There's no real access up there. The people's backyards back right up to that. So I made a suggestion maybe that some volunteer could get together a crew and trim that back so you could see the very top of the rock faces. Well, hey, guess what I just found? Another remnant from the old pool. Dangers up here. Poison ivy and oak, stay away. It means what it says. This stuff is all over the place here. These were the walls back again toward the picnic area. We pan back around to where the bathhouse used to be, and you can see some of the existing little putt-putt course. This actually was an 18-hole putt-putt course here, crammed in this little picnic area. And according to the lady I was speaking to, they're going to keep this. They're going to resurrect it and use it again. There again is the batting cages, but as I come on around here, we find a giraffe. This was part of the Putt Putt deal, and it was in sad repair, and the lady here told me that the local school, some artists or what have you, came and they refurbished it. So there's another piece they don't have to worry about. As I said, some folks' property abut the very top of that wall up there, as evidenced by this building I could spot there right next to the giraffe. Hey, I got an idea. They could call it Giraffic Park. There's one of the water hazards from the Putt Putt Park. There's a lot of work to be done here, but it seems like the people here are on the right track. They're using volunteer labor, and they can turn this into some worthwhile piece of ground that the whole community can enjoy and use. A teaching facility also. Lots of good memories here. Let's hope these folks can make good memories for other people that come around, the next generation or two. Hey, there's actually a few of these that have carpet on them. Looks like new carpet too. Got another one over here. Get out your putter and a ball. It used to be a cheap date back in the 60s when I was in high school. Now there's another memory for all of us that spend time here. Trains were always going by, especially back in the day. In the 50s, 60s, there was always a lot of railroad activity around here in the Chemical Valley. sometimes if you didn't want to go through the tunnel, you'd run up over across the tracks, especially if the tunnel was crowded, which it often was. Okay, here's a little bit of a shot here of the front of the existing building now. It's a great building, lots of room in here, and it's going to be a community center. I think it's an excellent idea. As the train rattles on, I'm going to do one last pan here, moving from what was the ticket booth and the entrance. To my left, I'm standing in front of what would have been the old bathhouse. We're just panning around, looking at the walls, looking out over towards where the main picnic area was. They had the raft and the stuff that went along the wall there back in the day. But hey, it's going to be used for a good purpose. I'm going to close this out by taking one last look with my back somewhat to what would have been the entrance. I have mixed feelings. I love this place for what it was once, a big pool, a great place for families to have fun, get together, picnics, as my family did and as I did with my family. But now it's going to be used again. This is in its third iteration. That's good. People can enjoy this again. I have a good feeling about that.